lock.
Welcome back to For the Record. We are talking to young voters about the issues important to them and what's driving young people to the polls this election. Let's talk about housing. Finding a home in, let's just say, Greenville County is not easy, especially a home where you can afford. Renting is oftentimes more. The rent bill is more than what a mortgage would be if you had a house.
Right.
How do you approach this? And voting for someone who you think will help you.
Well, I can definitely speak on this. If my husband and I had not bought our house at the very tail end of Donald Trump's presidency, we wouldn't have been able to afford the same house, let alone any house at this point, especially now that I stay at home with our baby. That would not have been in the cards for us. No way would we have been able to pay for the kind of rent we would need to pay for. And so we're just very thankful that we had that foresight to go ahead and make that big purchase, as scary as it was at the time. And I know Megan can attest to this as well.
Yeah, I actually purchased my first home under Donald Trump's presidency as well. And I look back and it's so fascinating to look at my budget because I keep a detailed Excel spreadsheet. And just looking back at what I was making almost half what I'm making today. But with the same type of ratio per budget amount, I am actually spending, my budget looks almost identical because of how much everything has increased in the cost of living. So you think about buying a home, I could never have afforded to be able to buy now. And it's wild thinking I make almost double.
Yeah. Now, economists would argue that home prices are going up because of the amount of jobs and opportunity and availability is going up. As in the jobs and everything going up, the availability is going down. So how would you talk about housing?
Well, Nigel, I think the big thing is that this is not an issue that's brand new in the last 4 years. This is something we've seen over decades and decades of cost of housing going way up. I mean, you look in the 1960s of what our grandparents probably bought. It's laughable to look at the cost now and see what we're paying. So it's not necessarily an issue that we've just now stumbled upon with inflation and the amount of people looking to buy homes. This is something that we haven't addressed, and now we're just looking to address just in the last couple of years. So having abilities for people to go out and buy their first home, I think, is a big thing, especially so many people use that as their main source of storing their income.
Yeah.
I mean, a house is something, it's the biggest asset you own. So allowing people to go and buy their first home is extremely important. That's one of the things the Harris administration wants to work on when they get in the office, is try to allow people to have funds and give them tax breaks and deductions in order to buy their first home. And it's just something we haven't really looked at, and now we're looking at it now in the future.
And she has a detailed policy on how she plans to do that, including a $25,000 incentive for down payment assistance to first-time home buyers. So that's definitely appealing.
A big thing is paying for college. Once you are, for those who are paying the bill, having the money to have a home, to buy groceries, and then to pay back that college bill. Is that something that your generation is really focused on as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The Biden administration has tried time and time again to assist with this, and they've done a lot. It hasn't impacted as many people as I know he would have hoped, but a large part of that is he's been blocked by the Republican judicial system. So as much as we'd like to do, it's impossible, but they're still making inroads and getting things done for people, especially like the public service loan forgiveness. That program was a mess, and there have been a lot of changes to improve it that's helped many people.
Personally, I come from a financial background. That's what I did before I became a stay-at-home mom. I was a wealth advisor. And one of my opinions when it comes to debt is that whenever you take out a loan, you're supposed to pay it back. Same thing for, I have a mortgage and I'm paying it back. My husband has a car note, we're paying it back. I have some student loans and we're paying it back. And so I think it depends on who you talk to and the young people. We certainly should empathize for how they feel when it comes to student loans. I certainly do sometimes feel very stressed out about student loans since I have them myself. But at the end of the day, I do believe that it is my responsibility to pay them back. And I think we should actually look at the root cause of why they're even necessary to begin with. I mean, for one thing, college has gotten absolutely outrageous in the cost. I mean, I remember working with clients trying to plan for this, and the things we were planning for, I mean, like sometimes $200,000.
Sticker shock, yeah.
Yes, and I'm like, you could buy a house. You could just buy your kids a house instead. So I think it depends on the young people you're talking to if that's a major concern or not. We're seeing a lot of young people nowadays who are opting out of college altogether because they're finding that, hey, I can go work this awesome trade. We always need plumbers, electricians, you name it. So I really like seeing that happen too.
Yeah, and those salaries are quite good, actually.
Yes.
Well, more from young voters when we come back.
They're Biden